What happens in 2028? You want? You want me to run for Congress again? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, well, you made a compelling argument. You spoke your piece, but I need a medical margarita right now. And we'll talk about it later. Thank you and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's Too Late with Alan Mosley.
Wow. Oh. Somebody was just running a touch slow there, but that's all right. Hey,
yeah,
still on vacation. Still on vacation, Dave. That's what it is.
Oh, I am.
Yeah. Guys, welcome back for another episode of It's Too Late. I am your host, Alan Mosley, joined as always by the number one producer in late night. It's Dave Willamowski. Dave! Dave, how are you doing, buddy?
Why does it feel like I've been gone forever? Like I'm looking at my buttons again, and I'm like, how do I do this?
Here we go.
I guess that's every week, but
So this is like 3 years running of saying if you don't come to the live event, then you're gonna miss. You had to be there. If you're not there, you're gonna miss it. And it's the series finale of It's Too Late, and Dave gets all hyped up for the last show, and then not even like 4 days later, it's fell for it again. We got him, you guys. He fell for it again. Yeah, get him. Get him, everybody.
My goodness.
Yeah. He's fell for it again award. Somebody needs, if anybody in chat's one of your Photoshop wizard folks, find you one of them fell for it again awards and Photoshop. Get Dave in there. He would fit right in. Got him. That's right. Ooh, boy. I don't know about you, Dave, but I desperately need to catch us on some Z's. Like, I'm running a big time deficit here.
Ooh, yeah.
And I don't know.
Extra day off, so I got some.
I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I did this thing. I didn't tell anybody at the event because I didn't want anyone to flip out about it. But all the way back like last Monday, not this most recent Monday, the Monday of last week, I started to kind of have like that issue. I thought it was maybe allergies because I've been running a lot, maybe like pollen or whatever. But I was starting to have like that sinus thing, where it's like you got that tickle. It's not in your throat. It's like in here somewhere, and you can't clear it out. And then it starts to like you start to have the pressure and the headaches and all that. But I did the thing that us gentlemen are wont to do, which is you got a big event coming up, and so you just tell your body it's not time for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're fine. Yeah, for maybe about 72 hours, you can just, you can just say, "Oh, I'm fine. It's no big deal."
Oh, you're gonna pay for it though. You're gonna pay.
Oh boy, am I! I tell you, I drove back home on Monday. Of course, I didn't live that far away. I got home about 12:30 or so on Monday, and the bottom fell out, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, yeah. And of course, initially you're like, well, I'm just tired. I haven't been sleeping much, been hanging out with everybody, blah, blah, blah. But then you go to bed and you wake up Tuesday and it's just throbbing and, oh, Jesus. Oh. So anyway, I dumped my head out of fluid right before we started the show. So hopefully I won't have to do that again because we took out the commercial breaks. We got to put those back in. They serve a valuable function in a program like this, which is me and Dave can go just do things that we need to do, and you don't
some
see
purging.
it. Yeah, I'm going to do some purging. You're going to hear some tinkling in the sink, Dave, and you guys don't want any of that, so we got to get the commercials.
Hydrating, yeah.
The event was a huge success. I definitely want to tell everybody on our It's Too Late community Discord, we have a channel called event photos. There's no text in there. It's just pictures from the event. So in lieu of us copying literally hundreds of pictures and posting them on the internet, you guys just log on to the Discord. The links to support the show and to go join our Discord are going to be in chat. Go over there, click on event photos, and scroll to your heart's content. A lot of warm memories. Had a lot of fun, a lot of late nights, not a lot of being up till 2 and 3 in the morning just to turn around and get up at like 7 or 8 because Matt's making breakfast. And I mean, I'll be damned if I'm going to miss my cinnamon roll pancakes. Shit,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I gained, I actually looked, I gained 7 pounds in 4 days.
Oh, nice. That's a good weekend.
Yeah, I feel like that should work. Yeah. I sure did. Yeah. So anyway, we're back on the wagon. We're back on the egg sandwiches. I haven't gone running yet because I literally can't. I'm asphyxiating literally as we speak. I'm losing the last bit of my oxygen. So I haven't gone and run yet, but I am back on the diet. I'm not sure I wasn't planning on doing a show this week. What I was planning on doing was, right? Well, this week and many weeks thereafter. I was planning on us just catching up on our UFC fights that we missed. Maybe we'd all hop on Discord and watch the UFC together. But, there was a little something happened already this week that has caused a bit of discussion. The Republican primary for District 4 in Kentucky has taken place, and one instant celebrity named Ed Galrine has won the primary, defeating incumbent Thomas Massie. And I couldn't imagine why we would, but do we have a picture of Ed Galrine on here?
Oh, hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Navy SEAL. Am I kidding?
Yeah. I mean, the hair's a dead ringer. I don't know when anyone's laughing.
It is. It's creepy.
It really is. Yeah, and the eyes too, quite frankly, and the wrinkles. So I know that news has affected everybody in a certain way, and it's got people thinking crazy. But we're gonna talk it out. We're gonna talk it out a little bit later this evening. But before we get to that, hey hey Dave.
Oh yes, Alan.
What time is it?
It's time for Meme of the Week.
Jesus, you could tell this guy hadn't done the show in like a month. My God.
He clocked out.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
I felt like we needed that this week because if anyone's bummed out about the state of political affairs in America right now, remember, Dick Cheney's burning in hell. So there you go.
Silver linings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I'm having to hit the buttons so much. I felt like we talked about how we were going to be back on the buttons tonight. But apparently that was just me talking to myself.
You're doing great.
But we do have a bonus meme. Check out the bonus meme.
Really?
You know what? I don't like this. All these games are based on the dark side of life.
I got a knife. The knife, you're closer to the victim. It's more personal.
You're so dirty.
Uh-oh.
You're a naughty boy. Go.
I hit a woman for the first time in my life. And I'm having fun.
He's having a good time. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Now, we don't endorse hitting women on this.
Not in real life.
No. Well, not on the internet either, I guess. But, I mean, the internet's not real life. Hitting women is fun. All right, Ryan, let's, Aaron, can we, that guy right there, let's go ahead and, don't make me reenact your magnum opus, Ryan. I'll do it.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Let's answer the viewer mail. Oh, hell yeah. Remember when we answered viewer mail to people, but they could, you could see them and they could see you?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it is different. All right. Brooke Atkinson writes, Dear Alan and Dave, if you could personally tell off any U.S. president, which one would it be? If you could personally tell off any U.S. president, which one would it be?
I don't know. I keep saying thanks a lot, Woodrow Wilson. So I guess
You've been saying that a lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't heard you say that.
I mean, on the internet.
Oh.
He's the one that was around during the Federal Reserve, right?
Mm-hmm. World War One.
Yeah.
Yep.
No good. No good.
Yeah. I'd go with Lincoln personally. In fact, I would find him out somewhere. I would wait until he went. If I could, if we could just take Abraham. Okay. If we could just take Abraham. Okay. Tim Wysong writes. Tim Wysong, who was also at the event. Yeah.
Yeah. Love him.
Yeah. We were knee deep in the event, and just the door slams open. Everyone, there's gasp in the theater. and it's Tim Weissel, and he just
Like a
says,
Western.
hey, yeah, he doesn't do anything. He just hey, and he sits down. It's kind of anticlimactic, to be honest. After that,
Quietly sat down. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like if Tim knew he was going to be late, he could have been like warming up, something to hit us with, but no, he just yeah. Tim Weissel writes, Dear Alan and Dave, if forced to give a dollar range for gas that you would absolutely say, nope, not going to buy gas, what would it be, and how close do you think your answer is from the rest of America's answer? So how expensive would gas have to be for you, Dave, before you would say, look, we're going to figure out something else. We're not gassing up.
I mean, I feel like there'd be a lot of steps along the way to like $10. You'd be like, we're not going anywhere but to work and back, or
Yeah.
in that area, 15, 20. You can't. I'm done. There's no.
Yeah.
You can't live like
You
that.
you couldn't ride a bike to work, Dave?
No, I'm gonna start doing. That would be this next step. I got it. I got a bike. I'm ready to go.
Okay, so
Mary
you could
doesn't let
ride a
me ride
bike
through those neighborhoods. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. Is it because of,
I think it's the income level. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the economically dispossessed. Yes, that's the problem.
Yeah. That.
Yes.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. New euphemism just dropped, everybody.
And they're gonna be like, "Oh, look at this fat guy riding a bike. He's got something to steal."
Yeah. I would say, I don't know, man. Like, I don't do as much driving these days as I did, like a year ago. I did a lot more driving. So I've got a couple of road trips coming up in the next couple of months, and I would have to say, yeah, if gas was like $8 to $10, then it would be like, well, look, we're just gonna cross our fingers that we're gonna get through this, and when we're on the other side, then I'll come visit. But before that, I'm not gonna double my travel budget, for a weekend. I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, probably that general range. But they don't want you to know this, but you can just tell the person at the service station that that's your gas now. Yeah, there's this one neat trick. It's like, yeah.
Start waving it around. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to pull the trigger. Just wave it around. Yeah. I think we call that brandishing, Dave. I think that's what that is. Lauren Wagner writes, has Lauren ever asked a question on this show?
I think when you made her, didn't you make her do it?
No, I mean like on the real show, not whatever that abortion was this past Saturday. I mean like this.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Lauren Wagner writes, Dear Alan and Dave, if you got to or had to choose between anxiety or depression for the rest of your life, which one is worse and why?
Oh, which one's worse?
Which one do you absolutely not?
I've already chosen depression. I don't like anxiety. That feels. Ugh.
Yeah,
I feel
like didn't we cover this topic like on our last episode of It's Too Late before the event, like a few weeks ago? Didn't we do a thing where I said like anxiety is not real? If anyone in your life, remember? Yeah, exactly. Because if anyone know talks about how that they have crippling anxiety, they're just liars. They just don't like you. Is what it is. Just tell them, just get over it. So I guess by that logic, I would go with depression, but that's just silly. Just I don't get it. Like just don't be sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheer up.
Stop it. Just yeah. Yeah, if anybody at the event next year says I'm really depressed, then we're all just going to tell them, stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Ryan Seifert writes, Dear Alan and Dave, describe boomers with one word. That's actually a challenge. I got a lot of words for them, especially this week. One word, Dave. Boomers.
Gullible seems like too jolly of a word, but I think that's the one.
Yeah,
it's like
that doesn't. Gullible doesn't put enough personal responsibility on them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, that sounds like they're the victims. No, 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 no. We're all the victims of their foul existence. Yeah, destructive, selfish, selfish. That's a good one. Expiring is what we're aiming for. They're expiring. So, don't you trigger us. We got a lot to talk about in the second half tonight. So we're gonna wait for that one. Matt Lacey writes, "Dear Alan and Matt Lacey, you guys, let me take a quick moment here to tell on Matt Lacey. Matt Lacey comes to the event and he actually brings his little what is that, like a griddle, whatever, what do you call that? His little Blackstone
or
yeah. And buys a ton of food, and he makes meals for everyone, for the entire property, like every day. Like every
The whole
day.
commune.
So the actual live event on Saturday, he's making dinner, but he's also making breakfast every other day. Yeah, the whole commune.
Kinda
Yeah, we
miss
tried
those,
it.
Yeah.
Real communism has been tried. It was tried this weekend. And the answer is...
We made it work.
We make Matt make it work. Yes. So it
I think
actually
that's how
turned
it
into...
works.
Yeah, it's actually pretty much communism everywhere. That's right.
Wait, did Matt eat it all? Did Matt get to eat? I can't.
He's awfully skinny, but that sounds like a problem for future commune, not today
Yeah.
commune. Yeah. We would have starved to death without Matt. That's very true. So thank you so much, Matt, for all your contributions and to the gulag. All right. Did you get the opportunity to throw axes and shoot BB guns last weekend? I did get the opportunity to throw axes and shoot. Did you do the axe throwing and the BB
We
guns?
did.
Dave?
We took the kids up. Yeah. Chris
Yeah.
was dual wielding the Red Riders.
Oh,
Doing all right.
oh, that sounds problematic.
He's like,
actually.
check this out, Dad, and he's like, and he like cocks him on the side of the wall.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ting, ting.
Did he
metal
try to like
target.
sling them with the levers and then it shot like everyone? Or
No, he did
Okay.
spin one, but I'm like, get your
Ooh.
finger off of that.
yeah. It was an opportunity to learn. That's what that was.
For
Yeah.
the children.
Yeah. Brooke says she threw knives, which is crazy because there were no knives provided. So Brooke brought her knives to throw. So that
Chucking them around. Yeah.
that's certainly some news that maybe you don't share with our host when we're booking next year.
And it wasn't at the range.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. It was just the closet door, just the back of the door. Yeah.
Childhood.
Yeah, it was a great time. We'll talk about that more in the after party, but everybody should come to the live event next year, the 9th annual It's Too Late live show. But we've got some stuff to discuss, so we're going to discuss that later. Gary Dykstra writes, Gary, who also came to the event, but just as quickly as he arrived, he departed.
Disappeared.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you blinked, you didn't see Gary, but hand to God, he was there because he has a receipt from Poncho's.
Yeah, I
So-
ate dinner with him. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe he just came to eat at Poncho's and then that was it. I don't know.
I think
Actually, I think that is what it was because that's what literally happened. Gary Dykstra writes, Dear Alan and Dave, if you had a time machine and could witness any past or future event, what would it be? You could witness any event. I mean, he said future. I like as if we're supposed to know. Yeah. I don't know. Any event, past or future, what would it be? What do you want to witness?
it's kind of dark, but I'd like to see those A bombs go off. I guess that would be past or future.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Either way. Yeah, you can either go. Yeah, you can go back in time 80 years or forward too. It's
Yeah,
whichever.
because I've seen some tannerite and stuff go up. I couldn't imagine, atomic bomb. That'd be.
We're not even halfway through the show, and I'm already like I can feel it. Like my eyes are watering, but I swear to God, I'm not crying, you guys. It's that my body is just giving up the ghost. Literally at 8:25 on Wednesday.
Call it.
Yeah, called it. I think I would. Well, if I was going to go in the past, I would. If I could just go to the theater with Abraham Lincoln. I don't know. It would probably raise a lot of questions from security if I was just staring at him, like waiting, like I'm nodding and smiling. Yeah, I don't know. And if I could go to the future,
You're like,
actually, I tell you what. I wish I could just. I would give anything to just do Last Weekend all over again. That'd be great.
Wow.
Yeah, that should be where we all live. I don't know why we live these shitty lives. We should just live that life. You know? Yeah, Dave.
got all kinds of welts from these ant bites.
Ooh,
That was a
you were looking a touch red too over the course of the weekend.
It's toned down. It's turned into a base tan now. I think we're gonna be all right. It's not peeling.
Yeah, I'm turning like I don't know, South American or something anyway. So I don't know what's going on over here.
Kind of minority.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. Can I? I don't know. How do you reverse that? Justin Campbell writes, who was also at the event this past weekend. Justin Campbell writes, Dear Alan and Dave, what was the peak sporting of our lifetimes? College or pro, any sport, a certain time frame. What was peak sports time of your life? When was that?
It's football for the whole time. Yeah.
For the whole time?
Yeah.
So for
I think it's been
the
great.
whole 40-something years? You're just there's no you're looking what's the peak moment, like it was this was the best era of sports for me.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't have that right now with the past few years with the Bills, I guess.
Oh, I'd say definitely the 90s. Definitely the 90s. Say it's really good for America and its team. You know? And Tennessee won the
Doing all
college
right.
national championship later in the 90s too. Man, everything was just coming up Allen's teams in the 90s. I miss the 90s. They're great. Well, you haven't been back to the Super Bowl since, so yours ought to be the 90s too.
Yeah,
Ungrateful.
I was gonna say that, but
Ungrateful.
I don't know.
Ryan, yeah, Aaron, I thought we timed that guy. We timed that guy out. If we did, do it again. All right. Let's see. Aaron, well, there you go. Perfect timing. Aaron Kittner writes, Dear Alan and Dave, if the world had a modern gladiatorial game, including the deaths, would you watch? Do you think it would be popular in today's world? So basically, would you watch the UFC, but they fight to the death?
Nah, I don't like that. It could be popular.
I don't think
it might be. But I don't know.
I don't think I would watch it, but I think it would be popular. I mean, look at the stuff that people watch on the internet. Like, I mean, in our life, like we grew up in the era where it was like, hey, everybody, look at this, and it's like just a cartel hit, you know. So you're in the computer lab in 8th grade showing your buddies just the most gruesome beheading anyone's ever seen in their lives. So I think for sure it would be popular, but I don't think I would watch it. I think yeah. So
Like Tim said, I think if they deserved it, like if it was politicians, that might be okay. I might check that out.
yeah, I don't know. Well, you know that ain't how it works.
No,
So it
it's
ain't
for
ever
poor
gonna
people.
do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Gladiatorial death is for poor people. That's absolutely right. And finally this evening, Mary Lynn Wilimowski writes, Dear Alan and Dave,
Uh-oh.
how would you respond when you were told numerous times that a certain task would no longer be asked of you, but the person changed their mind and now you're expected to help indefinitely? I feel like that wasn't directed at you this time.
It could be. It could be.
It could be. Maybe we don't know. But it felt personal towards me. So Dave, you stew on that for a moment. Think of what she might be referring to for you. All I'll have to say is, Mary, it's it's really important to learn to tell people no, when you can't, meet them where they are. You know what I mean? It's an important skill to tell people no. But also, it's only like 10 seconds of effort. And if you multiply that by like 50 episodes a season, that literally only comes out to like 8.5 minutes of work all year. So maybe we climb down from that cross, huh? What do you say? So anyway, you're Mary doesn't watch this show anymore anyway. Well, it's nah, it's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. You got anything, Dave, or is that?
That's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you have my permission to use that. Go ahead and hit her with the. Why don't you climb down from that cross when you go upstairs? All right.
Well.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, we're moving on, folks, to the main event. As you all already know, there was an election, a primary this past weekend. And before anybody gets too carried away, Thomas Massie's still going to be a congressman for 7 more months, right? Now it's just the primary, then there's going to be the generals, and then they're not sworn in until after that. And let me tell you, you need to be following him on Twitter, because now that he's not running for re-election anymore, oh boy, it's getting spicy. I like it. I'm liking it. It's enjoyable. But right after the news came out of the election, I wrote a tweet that was, if Thomas Massie were president, and I just had a list of things, just stuff that popped right off the top of my head that I thought, these things would be this way or wouldn't be this way if he were president. But unfortunately, he's not. And I thought, that'd be a good idea for an article. I'm going to do that. And I submitted it, and it was front page today on the Libertarian Institute. You can see the thumbnail right here. If Thomas Massie was president.
Front page.
So I want to read through a few of these for you. So I think there was something like 13 of them, something like that. We'll go through them kind of quick. If Thomas Massie was president, I'll tell you right off the bat, there would be no American involvement in the war in Iran.
Oh, my goodness.
Massie introduced a bipartisan resolution barring unauthorized hostilities against Iran and said, quote, "The ongoing war between Israel and Iran is not our war." Imagine having a president say something's not our war. You know why he said that, Dave? Because Massie, who has read the Constitution, understands the Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11, that only grants Congress the power to declare wars, not the President of the United States. But a Massie presidency would not begin hostilities in the first place, and certainly not at the behest of a foreign nation, and then just pretend that the war powers clock never started when your little foray into Iran turns out to not quite be as easy as your one in Venezuela. Quick side note, he wouldn't have done that one either. If Thomas Massie were president, Americans wouldn't be funding Ukrainian oligarchs to the tune of billions of dollars. Still are, by the way. He said, quote, "We shouldn't send another penny to Ukraine." He demanded an audit before a single dollar moves forward. Congress, meanwhile, appropriated more than $174 billion for Ukraine-related purposes and that was only through fiscal year 2024. They passed another $60.84 billion, up to like 240 now, by the way, in April, and an oversight body documented serious tracking failures of serious equipment. Imagine that, Dave. They don't know where all the money went. I mean, I guess in their defense, it's a lot of money to keep up with.
Yeah.
A government that cannot account for what it sends abroad has not earned the moral right to demand more from us at home. If Thomas Massie were president, there would be no more regime change wars, period. Iran's in the news now. Ukraine has kind of just disappeared, but it's still going on. Massie was already trying to block unauthorized aid to Syrian rebels. He tried to stop intervention in Yemen. He tried to require congressional authorization for any action in Venezuela. He even suggested withdrawing the United States from NATO. The anti-war right is perfectly encapsulated by the non-interventionist foreign policy that first supported by Ron Paul and now Thomas Massie. You know what America First means? It does mean supporting the troops. And supporting the troops means not sending them to police the world. If Thomas Massie were president, a foreign government wouldn't control the United States. You know, when I say, by the way, when I say a foreign government, you know, I think we all know.
Does any of Israel exist? What a horrific place, committing horrific acts on a daily basis.
Massie voted against Israel's 2024 supplemental. Imagine that. Imagine your government each year votes on authorizing another annual supplemental to a foreign country every year. It's like, it's our payday. Give us our check, please. Thank you. Who am I kidding? Those people wouldn't say please. They propose forcing politically active organizations that advance foreign interests to register under FARA, APAC, and argue that federal office holders should disclose dual citizenship and abstain from votes uniquely benefiting those countries. Imagine that.
Huh.
It was, to be clear, by the way, for the people that you might follow on social media, or for your boomer neocon retard in-laws who share stuff from Fox News, this has nothing to do with immigration or Massie's stances on this, that, or the other. I'll tell you when it started. It started when Massie went on Tucker Carlson's show for the first time, not even this year, a year or two ago. And he talked about his colleagues in Washington having an APAC guy. Remember that? Remember when Massie went on Tucker Carlson and said, yeah, everybody's got an APAC guy, a handler that makes sure that they're always putting Israel's interests first. That was the Rubicon that had been crossed. Israeli billionaires would then make the 2026 Kentucky District 4 Republican primary the most... Kentucky District 4 has like 17 people in it. This is rural Kentucky we're talking about. They made it the most expensive congressional primary in American history. They spent so much money that they actually spent $500 per eligible voter. Yes. To be Israel first is to be America last. You must understand that. If Thomas Massie were president, Epstein's co-conspirators would be in jail.
Oh,
Ooh, there's one right there.
There's one right there.
He forced the House to vote on releasing the full Epstein files. So let's not hear that nonsense of Massie never got anything done. Oh, yeah, he did. When he started getting things done is when he had to go, if you notice. He gathered signatures to bring the measure to the floor, and he said Americans deserve to know, quote, who's implicated and how deep this corruption goes. And this was one of my favorite quotes by Massie. He was on the floor of the House, and he said, we're going to know when this movement is a success, when rich men, powerful men are being perp-walked to the jail. Now, such men have faced some consequences abroad, but not in America, they haven't.
No.
The Epstein class, as we learned this weekend, is quite politically active in the United States. If Thomas Massie were president, there would be no FISA Section 702. No warrantless spying on Americans. We talked about that just in recent weeks. He spent a decade attacking the, quote, backdoor searches that led intelligence agencies rummage through American communications without a warrant. Dave, you ever been known to have a backdoor search?
No.
And he warned in 2025 that, quote, the intelligence agencies will use these loopholes to spy on Americans. Now, his Republican colleagues were urged to unite behind extending Section 702. And Congress promptly bought it more time. If President Massie would be among the first since the days of Jefferson to repeal and restrict executive power, even when, and especially when, that executive is himself. curb his own power. If Thomas Massie were president, there would be no automobile kill switches. What? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. Massie authored a 2026 amendment to block federal funding for the impaired driving technology mandate that was born in the 2021 infrastructure law. He argued that a car should not become, quote, your judge, your jury, and your executioner. Because, by the way, if your car thinks that you shouldn't be driving and it pulls over on the side of the road in the middle of a busy interstate, how do you appeal? Right? Now, regulators may prefer cleaner language, but the civil liberties dispute is obvious enough. Should Washington require vehicles to monitor drivers and intervene? Massie's answer was, of course, no. And instead of being celebrated for voting to defund the Biden-era legislation, by the way, this is a Republican who's just trying to defund the Biden-era spending. It became yet another grievance, and his party attacked him ever the more. Tell you what, if Thomas Massie were president, there would have been no federal COVID mandates. Remember all that? Or is that already ancient history? He was the one who sued to end the CDC's air travel mask order. He introduced legislation to terminate the vaccine mandate for international travelers. He condemned the, quote, faceless bureaucrats behind edicts Congress never enacted. The courts later blocked OSHA's vaccine or test rule for large employers, and the CMS eventually withdrew its healthcare worker vaccine mandate. Massie was right earlier, and he was right the most. And he was louder. Remember when he went back to Congress and he demanded a vote because he wanted everyone on record voting for that ridiculous spending bill? He was louder than nearly everyone who then later pretended that the whole episode had simply been an understandable excess. By the way, again, I'm not crying. It's just my body is rejecting me. We gotta wrap this up. If Thomas Massie were president, there would not have been record federal gun control prosecutions. Look at that family.
Lovely family.
That's a nice family. There with his late wife. Yeah. Yeah, go raid the Massie house, you guys. His legislative instinct runs in the opposite direction. National constitutional carry, repeal of the Gun-Free School Zones Act, and fewer federal crimes piled onto conduct that the Second Amendment was written to protect. That outlook is irreconcilable with the Justice Department mentality that boasts it will, quote, pursue every firearms case referred. A Massie administration would treat gun ownership as a liberty to be secured, not as a pretext for more bureaucratic dragnet. If Thomas Massie were president, the national debt wouldn't be $39 trillion and rising by trillions each year. Massie spent years voting against omnibus bills and continuing resolutions, and he now calls the CR ritual a, quote, fake fight, because both parties preserve the machinery that drives borrowing higher. The Biden-era spending levels were not only cut, but refusing to rubber stamp said spending created yet more friction between him and his supposed party of fiscal conservatism. In 2025, tax and spending package was projected to add roughly $3.8 trillion more dollars to the debt over the next decade, the big, beautiful bill. In Washington, insolvency is bipartisan. But President Massie would veto those bills, challenging Congress to keep trying until it could either balance the budget or, boy, they better learn to embrace a government shutdown because he wouldn't sign it. If Thomas Massie were president, gas prices would be cheaper. How would they be cheaper? Because his politics point towards more supply, fewer regulations, less willingness to destabilize oil-producing regions in the name of a grand strategy. In Congress, he backed cross-border energy infrastructure, while current inflation data shows energy prices surging and gasoline costs jumping as the Iran war drove up oil. A government that constrains its own energy production at home and then jeopardizes it abroad should not affect surprise when the reckoning arrives at the pump. I love all the new stickers. I did that. It just changed the face, that's all. You know what else would be lower? If Thomas Massie were president, grocery store prices would be cheaper too. He long argued that Washington makes food needlessly dear by burdening local production and interstate processing. He backed the Prime Act to allow local processors to sell meat to people closer to home. Interstate raw milk legislation, country of origin transparency. The USDA still shows food at home prices above year earlier levels. I think everybody here knows without looking at data that things cost more now than they did a year ago, and the year before that,
Hell yeah.
and the year before that. Federal Reserve research has noted that modern food inflation is driven heavily by supply chain and processing costs, not merely by raw commodities. Massie attacks the most important problem facing everyday Americans: cost of living. It's the economy, stupid. And he attacks it from multiple angles, be it tackling inflation or clearing the path between producers and consumers. I'll tell you one last thing. If Thomas Massie were president, the swamp wouldn't be bigger than ever before. He calls out the political theater in Washington. He attacks taxpayer-funded censorship programs. He presses for foreign agent transparency. He treats debt monetization as a racket and a Ponzi scheme. In his view, the swamp is manned from all corners of D.C. Lobbyists, bureaucrats, intelligence agencies, subsidy seekers, legislators. A Massie presidency would work to dismantle the managerial state, which is full to bursting with progressive lifers who somehow, Dave, managed to retain their positions with each passing administration. Not only has Trump not cleared out all the leftists in all of these bureaucratic positions, but he didn't do it back in 2016 either. So I don't know why anyone thought it was going to happen this time. Fell for it again. Democrat and Republicans alike. But with Donald Trump as president, the opposite is true. Under Trump, America enjoys new wars, along with its decades-long police actions. It features extensions for spying. He extended the spying apparatus that was used against him. Mm-hmm. It stares at $40 trillion in debt on the horizon. Not only without tapping the brakes, but with calls for even more spending. He wants another $1.5 trillion for the Pentagon right now, because we just can't seem to get out of the Middle East. It navigates an evolving narrative on Epstein that went from "I'm going to release the files" to "the files are a hoax" to then attacking those who demand justice. Above all else, America under President Trump puts the needs of Israel before the needs of its own citizens. And should a single congressman from rural Kentucky both say America first, but actually mean it, then he is public enemy number one. If only Thomas Massie were president and not exiting Congress.
Woo! We haven't gotten a button.
I don't know.
Yet.
It's just, it's just you just do the thing and then you do the thing. I don't know. Can I just give you this?
Yeah.
All right. I know a lot of people are really upset right now, and it's like all doom and gloom. And I know that Massie himself had said that this election has become something important because if I win, then people are going to be energized. They're going to be emboldened. But if I lose, a lot of people are going to check out. A lot of people are going to check out. But here's the funny thing as it pertains to the GOP in particular, is the GOP is going to get absolutely demolished in the midterms. Absolutely destroyed. And it deserves it. It deserves what it's got coming. The Democrats are going to rickroll the Republicans in the upcoming elections. And the GOP deserves it. The problem is I'm not sure America deserves it, but I know the GOP deserves it. That's the problem. But we'll do glass half full or glass half empty, glass half full. Glass half empty is there will be no victory until Israel's influence is eradicated. I wrote that differently before, but I decided to put the word influence in there instead of just Israel. Because I'm such a nice guy. There will be no victory until the most destructive generation in American history, the boomers, are in the dirt. And by the way, if you're one of these dick shitter fucking retards who says things like, well, that's just saying a lot of bad stuff about a whole generation of people, that's not going to make any friends. It's like, well, first of all, I don't want to be your fucking friend. And second of all, if I have to explain to you that there are exceptions and that this blanket statement clearly applies statistically, you could look at the data of a Massie's election. Massie won in every single demographic except for boomers, but boomers voted for his opponent at such a ridiculous clip that it swung the election. The only people who supported that guy, that empty suit, were boomers. We can't have anything until the boomers are gone. The most selfish, just garbage human beings that this country has ever produced, boomers. So no. And if you, by the way, if you think that what I'm saying is I want your granny to die because boomers statistically vote one way, then you're retarded. You're retarded. And if that's your takeaway from what I said, then yes, you are retarded. Correct. You are a retarded boomer, and the shoe fits. Last but not least, there will be no victory until the GOP is destroyed and an actual right-wing party emerges from it. We have two left-wing parties, both run by Israel, and put into power by people in their 70s. We got to get them gone. All of that. But said we're going to end with a glass half full. The glass half full is that if you look at that same data, nobody supports this garbage except for them. All the younger generations coming up are all saying, actually, no, I don't want to go die for Israel. I'm going to pass on that. Maybe we just go ahead and get all of them out of government. In the very near future, if you are someone who took money from AIPAC, you won't ever hold office in this country. That day is coming soon. I do believe it. I really do. It can't get here soon enough. I can't wait. As it pertains to Massie, by the way, just a quick thing for Massie. Maybe now that he's lost, he'll come on It's Too Late, because I have the killer opener for him. I'll share it in the after party. I'm not going to share it in the show. It's a spoiler. But let me tell you something about Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie is the statesman that the founders envisioned when they built a Republican form of government. Thomas Massie answered the bell time and time again, knowing full well that this could happen, right? He knew that he was taking stances that weren't popular with very rich and powerful people, but he did it because it was the right thing to do. Something I had said even a week ago was, you can listen to these people for 5 minutes and you can tell he's just a genuinely good human being. And we know that there aren't a lot of those. And we know that there aren't that many of those in Washington. You can just tell by talking to the guy. Listen to the guy talk. He's a genuinely decent human being. But I don't want to be that guy who's like, come on, Massie, run for president. He's done his job. You know what I mean? He did his bit. And if he doesn't ever do anything in the public sphere ever again, bless him. He did his job. But if he does decide to run for president, we're going to get the band back together. You know what I mean? The revolution. I feel like it's been long enough now since the Ron Paul Revolution days that And this is not a slight on Ron Paul at all. Anyone who's watched this show for more than 5 seconds knows how I feel about Ron Paul. Ron Paul's been on the show. It's gone. That's a thing of the past now. You know what I mean? There's no longer any holdouts. Massie may have been it. There's no longer any holdouts of the Ron Paul revolution that are still on the main stage. They're all gone. And so it's time to fire up the band one more time. So I think Massie ought to run for president. He ought to run for president, and even if there's no chance in the world that he wins, it's that he gets up there on those debate stages just like Ron Paul did, and he looks those pieces of shit in the eye and he tells them what for. We need that. We need that for our tiny percentage of the population. You know that phrase, preaching to the choir? That's always treated as a pejorative. Oh, you're just preaching to the choir. Well, you know what? Sometimes the choir needs to be preached to. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to talk to your people and make sure to re-energize them. And we need that. So I think Thomas Massie should run for president, be damned what the polls say, so we can get the band back together. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
Do we even have the show set up anymore just to go to the finale? Is that still a thing? Can we do that?
Yeah, I think I got that.
All right. Guys, we're going to be back to wrap up the show right after this commercial break. Don't go away.
If you're enjoying tonight's show, consider supporting the program by becoming a member of our Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/Alan Mosley.
Like our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Alan Mosley TV. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Alan Mosley TV. Subscribe to our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/Alan Mosley TV. But if you're more of a listener than a watcher, you can get us on your favorite podcasting platform thanks to Spotify. It's Too Late with Alan Mosley or Alan Mosley TV. See what I did there, Dave?
That's how you move.
Slick. That was slick, wasn't it? Yeah. Not my first rodeo, son. All right. Dave, do you have a final thought?
Oh. I don't know, man. It's been a long week.
It's only Wednesday.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I was prepared for the Massie thing. You know, I knew it was a definite possibility. So, you know, like they all said, it's one vote. It's just one vote, but it wasn't his vote that they were paying to get rid of. It was to silence him.
Yes, they wanted his voice gone.
That was an expensive vote.
Yeah, it was. That's why he should do it again. Fuck it.
Keep making them pay.
Yep, that's right. Absolutely. After party?
Real quick. Tomorrow's my first day back to work. I'm tired.
All right, we're gonna do a real quick after party because we have some things to discuss about next year's event. Next year's event, and a couple of other things. So stick around if you're interested in that. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of It's Too Late, and we will see you next week. Dude, I gotta go spin the countdown just drooling into the fucking sink or something. Dude, it's over for me. I think they got me too. They didn't have to spend $20 million to do it though. Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to silence me, you guys. Yeah. I'm a cheap date. What can you say? You know?